Now, on this episode of KUTV Tech Innovation Show, we bring you Apollo. What is Apollo, you may ask? Well, Apollo is an intelligent barrier system that is used to do facial recognition and take body temperatures at the entrances of buildings. And with me is Fidel Makatia, one of the innovators behind this innovation, and he will be telling us more on what Apollo can do. Now, welcome. Karibu sana Fidel Makatia. Thank you for giving us your time, and welcome to KUTV on the Tech Innovation Show. Well, now tell us about Apollo, what she does and what inspired the innovation.
Okay, thank you. My name is Fidel Makatia. I'm a final year student of Electrical Electronics Engineering in Kenyatta University. Yes, it's true, I've been involved with quite a number of innovations. Of course, the most recent one is the TIBA vent ventilator, which was the first locally designed and developed ventilator by 15 students from Kenyatta University, a team of 15 students and their mentors from Kenyatta University. I've also been involved with quite a number of them. Just last week, but one, I received a grant. Our grant was approved by Kenya Space Agency to design a satellite which was supposed to send to space. So it will be the first ever satellite to be designed by Kenyatta University, sent to space for the purpose of GIS and UAV guidance for agricultural use. I've also been involved with innovations like the recent Apollo innovation. Of course, we'll talk about it. And also, I'm inspired by using technology to transform humanity.
Now, the name Apollo. Why did you decide on the name Apollo? Because for many people, when you hear the name Apollo, what comes to mind is either the Greek god or the innovation by NASA that saw astronauts being taken to the moon to study the moon.
So Apollo fascinated us because Apollo was a program designed by NASA to send the first man on the moon. So it was a pioneer program by NASA. So America was going to do something that has never been done in history of the world and America. So we named our product Apollo because it's pioneering the fourth industrial revolution in Kenya. So it's not that only. We have other projects we're going to launch in the Apollo flagship. One of them being an electric intelligent car, which is fully autonomous. So it's something that has not happened in Kenya. So we are pioneering these kind of innovations in Kenya. So that's why we named it Apollo, because it was a pioneer project. So this barrier system is not something that has not happened in history of Kenya. And we named it Apollo because we are pioneering the application of artificial intelligence and embedded systems, combining in one engineering machine. So the idea of Apollo started in July this year, 2020, where we were the same team of students. Part of that, the Apollo team is part of the team of students which took part in the ventilator project. So we sat down and we said, hey guys, we have skills in artificial intelligence, machine learning, hardware programming and user interface design. Why can't we, because now the ventilator is a sailed ship, why can't we do another project based on now AI and machine learning? So we sat down, we designed the Apollo facial recognition model, which was able to recognize masks and also faces. So we said, okay, this is now a software, we need to make it engineering based in that it has to be tangible. So we came together, we formed now the hardware part. So we design a barrier system. So the main aim is during COVID-19, these times you have to have a guard to check your temperature and face mask. So this one might not be effective in high traffic areas, for example, Kenyatta University, airports, buildings. So also human errors are prone to occur nowadays. For example, in a bank setup, if maybe the relative to that watchman comes, they are let in, or people have to employ other people to make sure that there is somebody in the guard just to check for these parameters, that is temperature and face mask. And also recently the WHO released a report saying that the Kenyans are giving fake numbers, so contact tracing is not effective. So we said, why don't we give the machine this job? Because the machine will not be biased and it will be accurate. So that's when we designed the Apollo system. That was the initial idea, to be a COVID-19 measure enforcing machine. But later we realized that it can be an access control. So actually right now Apollo is an access control machine with both those features of contact tracing, temperature and face mask, but also it has what we call RFID and also has face recognition. So for example, if you have a restricted area like, let's say a building, let's say you don't want people to access, you just register the faces of people you want to access, and the Apollo will allow them to access and deny any person who's not in the face database access.
So where do you source the materials for Apollo, and are they expensive? And for the ones you have to outsource, are they inexpensive? And generally, just tell us where the materials are found from, and are they locally available, and how easily can you access them?
So the idea behind Apollo is basically to make, you see, we sat down and we looked at Silicon Valley, how Silicon Valley developed. And we realized that these are people who decided to believe that they can produce from their own country without depending on another country. So the idea behind Apollo was, why can't we design something which you can say it's 100% Kenyan? So that when we are exporting, we are saying this one is made in Kenya. It's not like made here and assembled from where. No, it's purely made in Kenya. So all of the product which is used to make Apollo is actually sourced locally. So from the frames, fabrication and everything is actually here in an industrial area where we go, we find guys in the Juakali sector, we say this is what we want, these motherboards is one, we do the programming, we do the designs ourselves. So we're looking at the country whereby in the next few years, Kenya will be an industrialized country and will be the one exporting technology. Yeah, so it's not like we don't source anything, we don't import anything from abroad or outside. We design everything here locally.
Well, the materials that are used to make Apollo, have you run tests to ensure that they can withstand harsh conditions? Because as you know, Apollo is supposed to be used on a daily basis and it's supposed to perform optimally and to how it is programmed and made to function on a daily basis.
Basically, what the first design of Apollo was out by end of August. So we have had the entire of September to run tests on Apollo. We have done a lot of tests on it, and also we are actually involved in KEBS currently. We want them to come now, and because we are sure that our machine can go, these are the limits. As we are doing the documentation, also technical documentation and manuals, we are making sure that what we tell people it will do, because we are focused on building the brand. We don't want to build something that will crash tomorrow and people will say, no, these things are not good. Because we focus on using tech to change Kenya, how Kenya looks like. So we've done a lot of tests on Apollo, a lot of scenarios, use cases. Recently, one of us, a machine learning engineer, actually trained Apollo to recognize faces of prominent politicians. So it could recognize all the prominent politicians. So we have run a lot of tests on it, but also, of course, we are engaging also KEBS to make sure that it's standardized and we are sure that somebody has certified. That is the third eye.
Aside from the normal energy, the electric main grid, so what other sources of power have been put in place for Apollo to ensure that it functions even when there is no power? Can it be used, can you use solar energy, or maybe can the place that Apollo is being used conserve power for it to be used later on? And if so, is there a backup system, a backup energy system that can be used to run Apollo even when power is out?
That was a concern to begin with. When we are coming together to design Apollo and to form the company which made Apollo, which is called Afex. Afex is the company which I'm the CEO and which made Apollo. There was concern about power, because if we wanted to spread across Kenya, we have to come to the realization that Kenya, not every place has power or reliable power. So the first design actually had an inbuilt battery, but that actually raised the cost. So how we made it, this second design, is in such a way that if you have an alternative power system, you can actually integrate it with ease to Apollo. So you don't need to have the main grid. If you have any alternative source, you can integrate with ease to it, but it does not have a backup system. So when power goes out, if you don't have any other power, it will go down. But now, it's a possibility that if you want that kind of backup battery, we are able to integrate it for you, because the design has that capacity to be upgraded with backup battery. So it's something that can be done. Yeah, but we did that so we can lower the cost of production and everything, so that the end user doesn't have to incur a lot of charges.
Now, are there diagnostic systems that have been incorporated in the design of Apollo to ensure that it gives alert whenever there is something wrong with the electronics? Because every machine that we know right now has to do this for it to be able to work optimally.
Like you say, it's able to check its systems. So it's able to predict fast, even if the model needs to be updated, it's able to tell somebody. The guy is responsible that this model is becoming outdated. He's able to check the system to see if they're functioning well. He's able to even to check the camera to see if it's well placed. So we are running actual diagnostics even before the full program runs.
How soon are we expected to see Apollo in the market?
Our website is ready for pre-order. Guys are already ordering. Most recent, we had even guys from the UK interested. Of course, different application. Like I said, Apollo is a machine learning algorithm which runs the machine. So we have even guys from a big companies as big as Boeing interested in Apollo. So guys have started ordering. So, but as soon as next month, it will be, you'll actually see it in the market because we have a lot of orders we are trying to service. And as we push also for KEB certification to make sure that our client are comfortable, that piece that comes to know that at least a third eye has looked at it and it's working well. Because I can say, and when a third eye says that this is okay, that gives more gravity. So we plan that by the end of October, we'll have already installed some in Kenya, leave alone abroad. Our main focus is actually Kenya first, although we have guys from outside Kenya who are very interested in its application, not only for COVID, but for example, we had a company in the UK who are interested in making sure, you see, like an energy plant, when we have had these cases in Kenya where guys were working on the power line and somebody went and switched on and guys died. So this guy who switched on did not know that it was switched off on purpose. So we have a company in the UK who want us to integrate this system on their machine such that if you are the one who has switched it off because you want to maintain, you are the only one who can switch it on via your face. So it's able to know, no, this is the guy who's supposed to switch me on. So no one can go and switch it on without you knowing. So such intelligent things. We also have guys who want it integrated as a barrier system, a restricted area. Instead of carrying IDs and showing it to guards, you just go and the machine sees you and lets you in. So we have guys interested in that. Of course, like I said, the main prime area was actually for COVID, but now it doubles in both. Post-COVID, we're able to upgrade your model to have these face recognition features and RFID. For example, in some places like KU, you need a guard to stand at the gate to show ID to, but with Apollo, you just come and swipe your ID. You actually show your ID to the machine knows, and it opens. So you don't need a guard to actually stand there and check your ID. So we are getting a lot of use cases from customers. We have guys in Uganda very interested, guys in Nigeria, they're asking where can we apply this, and we're actually giving all the use cases. We actually have a website on where guys can come and see where all the use cases of Apollo. So bottom line is by the end of October, their buildings in Nairobi will be able to have Apollo on them, and we'll begin now installing from November onwards, because right now we are running a lot of tests in it, making sure it can last as many years as possible. So there are data policies, especially if you think about entering the European market. So we actually liaising with one of the companies we are partnering in Europe to review and see that we are compliant with those data policies. But in the ones we are running right now, the machine we are running right now is not able to store data. So it just passes the images as stream. So when you come, it doesn't store your face. So it just detects your face and deletes. So it doesn't like store. So no one can retrieve that face later. That is the one we are deploying right now because of the data policy. But the ones we are talking about, facial recognition and facial ID, that one we are still liaising with the relevant parties on the data policy to make sure we are compliant with the same.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyethia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Sinaweza saa hii nimekuja kukopesa choo.
Panari Group offers an oasis of serenity, wonderful views and tranquility with well-equipped facilities such as gym, massage parlor, ice skating, heated swimming pool, sauna and steam, among others. Beyond Limits team would love to share the Panari experience with you, courtesy of the Panari Group. Follow us at KUTV Beyond Limits show and at Panari Hotel on social media platforms, and let us know what you feel about the show for a chance to win complimentary tickets to experience Panari and an opportunity to hang out with your favorite stars live on location at the Panari Hotel. Be part of our club every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. with Anki Doris Ombat as we hang out with your preferred pacesetters and trendsetters. This is Beyond Limits.
Okay, Forex, what I can say is not simple, and on the other side, it's a simple subject if you know how to do it. So a lot of people fear Forex because they put in money in their account and they start trading, but they don't know what they're trading. The good thing about forex is that even if maybe you don't have the full skills on how to do the trades, there's something we call risk management. You can be able to control your money, so you can't lose all your money.
Now, in terms of bells and whistles, what else can Apollo do aside from taking temperature and also facial recognition?
So Apollo is a barrier system. So it's an automated guard. So you can give it instructions to tell only these people with this kind who have made this kind of condition should enter. For example, let me give you a scenario where you for example, there is a stadium case, let's say Kasarani Stadium, and guys need to pay to get in. So you maybe need somebody there to be checking ticket. But with Apollo, you tell it, okay, these are the people who are supposed to come, these are the people who are supposed to enter VIP, and these are the kind of tickets, or this is the kind of money. Even M-Pesa can be integrated in it, because it's something which can be integrated with such kind of technology. So you come, you pay, you show it the ticket, or you show it the message, and the Apollo opens for you. So you see such kind of things, we automate all processes. We make sure that there is no human error at all. There's no guards there being intimidated, because there are people who come and intimidate the guards because of their high ranks. So if you have Apollo in there, if you don't have the pass or required condition to enter, you cannot enter. So it can be used virtually in all barrier access systems, including, like I said, RFID, including face recognition. Because of COVID, we made sure that it has face mask detection and temperature for you to access, but it can be used in all use cases whereby you need some people to meet some certain criteria before accessing something. So you can program it, you can tell it what you want it to do.
There is this thing that has crossed many people's mind, not only I myself, when using Apollo. What safety measures have you put to ensure that Apollo is safe to be used by the end user? For example, when it does malfunction, can I be injured? Or if I can be injured, what things have you done, or what protocols have you put in place to prevent this from happening to anyone when the machine does malfunction?
One of the key things we have added is the doors. When they are moving, they are not exerting a lot of force, so they cannot like slam you. So if they are opening and closing, maybe it has malfunctioned when you want to pass, and it start closing, it cannot like hurt you when it's doing that. Also, it has a fail-safe switch which is normally open. That means that when it fails to work, the machine itself will switch itself on. So it will open. Like we say, we have diagnostic programs running on board to check the systems. So if a system is failing, apart from notifying somebody, it's able to go to the fail-safe mode, meaning it will run open and notifies. So it will put an alarm and open. So to show somebody who's around, maybe a guard or the building manager, that this thing has malfunctioned and it's open, so guys are entering. So also it has an override switch for the admin. So in case of anything, you can override it. You can override the machine itself. Yeah. So those are some of the safety precautions we have put. Another one is full insulation and earthing in case of electrical shock. So make sure that it's ICE compliant. Make sure that somebody maybe is tempted to touch or crossing is not able to get electric shock because it's an electrical device. So there are many features. If you see the edges, they're actually polished and they're actually not sharp, so that no one can cut themselves on it. So it's something aesthetically pleasing, yes, but also protecting the person who's using the equipment.
My name is Cynthia Thuo, and one of the people who worked on Apollo, and I'm going to introduce our team members. First we have Eric Ouma, and we have Jonah Mutamale, we have Elijah Kiplimo, and then finally we have Steve Ogeto Kinaro. We have 3 other members who are not with us here. The first one is Fidel Makati, who's our team leader. We also have Alan Koech, and we have Perez.
So now here we are next to the machine that is made by Ampex, the company that has made Apollo and Flight is Apollo. And I'll be talking to Cynthia actually she will be demonstrating how the machine works, the operation, and everything it entails for the operations of Apollo, the machine, Apollo 1 in motion, yes?
Yes. So during COVID-19, there were a lot of issues. First is the need for social distancing, people need to have masks, but life has to continue as normal. And that is where Apollo is here. Apollo is to assist people to go on with their lives as normal. Yeah, it can assist you to know if someone has a mask or not. And if you don't have a mask, you can't go through the system. Also, one of the most evident symptoms of COVID-19 is increase in temperature. So it can tell you whether a person has extreme temperatures or not. And if they do, they'll alert you, it will alert you. Now, Apollo is also applicable post-COVID-19 and even right now because it has a security system integrated with it. So you can use an ID, like for instance, KU, you normally have school IDs. So we can integrate school IDs or company IDs to the system. And if you are authorized to enter using the ID, you can enter. Additionally, you also have Face ID implemented. And if your face is registered in the system, you're allowed to enter. I'm going to take you through Apollo, a machine that we have designed. So first, when you want to put it on, you have a switch here. You just simply put it on. I'm not going to do that because it's already on. So just press here. Oh, of course, it has a cable for power that powers the machine, but the switch is to enable it to go on. Yeah. So I'm going to take you through the front part. You can see we have lights here. These lights are to indicate whether a person is okay to enter or not. It has lights. Lights indicate whether a person is authorized to come in or not. So when you're not authorized or when there is danger or anything, it just goes red. And when it's okay, it goes blue. You'll see shortly when I put, actually let me put my mask on. You can see it has gone blue. So additionally, we have aesthetically pleasing hardware. You can see the finishing here is top-notch, very classic finishing. Yeah, we have glass windows made very aesthetically pleasing, and they are convenient for use. They are also very durable. I am just going to take you through the UI. Of course, we have hinges. Hinges are made from stainless steel, very clean. Yeah. If you incorporate our system to your company, you can be sure that it's going to be durable and it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's top-notch. So I'm going to take you through what you see here in the white box. So we have a camera here that is able to take your photo, and it can tell whether you have a mask or not, of course through our software that's inside the system. Now, because it can't detect my mask now here, it doesn't show my temperature yet. It also shows here that the door is locked. Yeah. Here you can see where it's saying user has no mask. Yeah, at the bottom there. And of course you can see our company logo, that is Afex, and our brand for the machine, that is Apollo. Inside here we have our own board and we have a screen. Yeah, that carry one, our software, and two, it's able to display what it's being given by the camera.
As you guys have been told, this is the Apollo, the system. So I'm Steve Ogeto, I'm the CIO Afex, and this design, I'm in charge of the design part. So the design comes powder coated. That means it does not rust. It also can be customized to the colors that you guys use. Let's say the branding of the offices and all that. Apart from that, the device is also customized in such a way that the display can be movable in 6 degrees of motion. What this means is if the people who are coming there are of different heights, you can be able to adjust it to the best height of the people. So I'll just demonstrate this. For instance, if the people are taller, you can be able to move this. Yeah. And if they are shorter, you can also be able to move it. You can also move it in this kind of direction so that you're able to get all angles right where the face is located. The doors, as you can see, the first ones are made of acrylic, This can also be customized in case you're bringing the system to primary schools or high schools. You probably not want to use acrylic doors, you'd want to use stainless steel doors, so for mass control.
Now that the world is embracing the new normal, we are likely to see innovations such as this and many more. And as usual, KUTV Technovation Show will be here to always keep you up to date. Well, I hope you've learned something new out of this episode. Remember to leave your comments, your suggestions and feedback on our social media handles on Facebook and Twitter at KUTV Kenya. My name is Samson Jura. Let's do this again. Same place, same time. Goodbye for now.
Welcome